Right, so today what we're going to be doing is, first of all, I've got to see what power-ups I can get. Just can get through. That's all I can do. So what we're going to do today is... How much is Red Death? Too much. Too much for the time being. What we're going to be doing today, I've said how many freaking times. What we're going to do is I'm going to play as Miang, and we're going to go through Mount Moonspell. We're going to want to show off the Legacy of Moonspell DLC. And the reason why is because, well, I want to do videos on all of the DLCs, like just a introductory thing, like taking the first character that you get from the DLC and just showing it off. The reason why I'm starting with this one first is it was the first DLC, so of course I'm gonna start with it. We're gonna go Ebony Wings. I've already got Red Death, so I don't need to worry about beating him again. Can't afford anything from there anyway. But I genuinely think duplicator up there, stone mask there. I believe stone mask is what we need to use for the sword anyway, which I'm intending on getting the sword this run. Stone mask is what we need for that. But I want to try and get everything filled so that the pickups that I end up getting are bonus. I genuinely still believe or think that Legacy of Moonspell is the best DLC that the game has gotten. I think the characters that were released in this are the most interesting. I still use them to this day. I'm still using, like, I think Miang is great. I think the weapons that are introduced are some of the best. Like this, the Silver Wind, great. It's certainly an improvement on Garlic, which is the other thing that needs Puma Laura. It's not saying that I think the other DLCs are bad. I don't. I just don't think anything matched this. The second DLC, I think, fumbled the mark a bit. It was a bit of a disappointment, in my opinion, anyway. I think it didn't add enough interesting new abilities, in my opinion. The Among Us DLC, I'll get to it when I get to it, obviously. But personally, although I really like the crossover DLCs, the Among Us one and the Contra one. I think the next DLC should be wholly original. Should be original characters. I think it's been a long time since we got any original characters in DLCs. So I think it's time. That being said, I don't think any of the DLCs are terrible. I will get to them. I'll do an individual video on each one. I think they're all good. I do think, however, with... No, I'll get to that in when I come to the Tales of Discovery. Right, now we can focus on getting the thingamajig. Yeah. Give me the chicken. Yeah, what... answer this in the comments. What is the reason to upgrade Curse? Why would I want to do that? Because I haven't touched Curse on any console that on any like device that I've got this game on. Why would I want to upgrade Curse? Like what is the benefit to that? Like all I see is that it's just making the game arbitrarily harder. It's just using gold, using money to make the game harder. Which I'm not really in the market to do that, but like do I get rewards for that? Do I get a specific character for upgrading every upgrade all the way? Because Curse, to me, does not seem like an upgrade. What? No. No, what are you doing to me, game? I assure you that was not on purpose. Right, we're gonna revive because we have to. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you make that option? Of course I don't want to discard it. But you're gonna make me discard it anyway. No! This one's cursed. The run is cursed. It's all over. It's all over. I'll film today. You'll be fine. Get a fun video out. So we're not upgrading. We're not upgrading the birds this run. Which means those spaces will be there forever. How does a recording session go so badly? So I can't get Ebony Wing from the selector anymore. Can I still get it from chess? I'm not entirely sure. What the hell? Right, okay, this should help. I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to sing this friggin' game's praises. And it's making me look bad. I mean, I am bad. But it's making me look worse. I could have just picked that up, but I had enough of the freaking caves. I can't believe I did that though. I don't even know what happened. Like, 1 minute I think I'm selecting Ebony Wing, the next minute it's gone. everything should run smoothly now. Hopefully. The thing that I don't like and this is for every DLC, because every DLC item requires it. Having to upgrade the passive fully as well as the item. I don't hate it, it's not as big a problem. It's just slightly annoying. It just means you have to wait even longer to be, like, really powerful. And there's one item that's going to be sitting in your inventory until probably very close to the end of the actual round. I do think as far as stages go, this one's still fairly boring. At least compared to later stages later on that end up getting a lot more intricate and interesting. And give you more incentive to kind of explore them. This definitely feels like a first attempt expansion. Like, a lot more of the effort went into the characters and the skills than it did this stage, which I feel like maybe is I feel like there is a more of a balance as we get closer and closer to present day. And I do think whenever the next DLC rolls around, it's probably going to be the best one we've seen. It'll probably be the best thing we've seen. $2012. And now we just wait. We can pick up the gold mask, but there's no real reason to. This is something I don't like, and it's something that the game has addressed, and it's obviously something we wouldn't have to deal with if I didn't discard the frickin' sword, and also didn't discard the ebony wing as well. I'm glad that this is a problem that got fixed, or like they did stuff to deal with this. Like the game where it is at the moment. When we get to like the later DLCs, we get to talk about those. Like the game where it's at the moment is pretty much perfect. There's not much that they can improve on when it comes to the actual way the game feels and the way that the game plays and everything to do with like the technicality of the game. Like they can add some more really insane weapons, and they can obviously look towards like how can we implement more like engaging boss fights going forward, because I feel like that's where something like Operation Guns shines the most, is that it does have like a really cool, engaging, like big end boss fight. And it kind of makes the most out of being a Contra collaboration. It does genuinely feel like they just stuck Contra in Vampire Survivors. It doesn't feel like the Among Us one where it was just the Among Us characters in Vampire Survivors, and it didn't really feel like it had the same like energy. They definitely got the assignment more with the Contra collaboration. Oh well. Oh well. We didn't win. I didn't think we were going to. We messed up pretty much from the beginning. But yeah, that is the legacy of Moonspell. I don't even know if that's the right name. Legacy of the Moonspell. Yeah, that's pretty much, I think, Legacy of the Moonspell, I'm going to say it here, personally for me, is still the best DLC that Vampire Survivors has. It's the best DLC that Ponkel has made for Vampire Survivors, and it's the first one they hit out of the park first. Technically, yes, the others may have, like, perfected the formula, and they may have added more things and added like new passives and added like more interesting things and added more reasons to like go exploring and that. But I think in terms of the amount of characters, the amount of new characters introduced, the amount of new things in the game, and just being like an expansion on what was there before, I think they hit it out of the park pretty much first time, and the game will only start to progress and get even better from here on in. What I mean by it being the best DLC is not necessarily even it being the best on a technical standpoint. I think it's the best as of what we were expecting versus what we got, and what we had versus what we got. And I think that's where the quality of Legacy of the Moonspell definitely like comes out. It's just how much stuff it really did add to the game. Anyways, that is Legacy of the Moonspell showed off kind of a little bit. I will continue to be going through Vampire Survivors over on Twitch, so if you want to see my journey of basically just getting everything in the game, at least on the PS4 version, or the PS5 version, I will be live pretty much every day, doing a mix of this and Disney Speedstorm every Friday, because I don't feel like playing it any other day than Friday, to be honest. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Yeah. Base.